The Queen of Granada, by M. Riff. Chapter 125, The Handgun. Eventually, the officer spoke from the back seat. "Let her go. She can't get far without this one here anyway. Otherwise, you're going to get us all killed." To Rita, it felt like she was being held hostage by the Spanish military. As they neared the city's border, they saw Rosen in the distance, parked by the roadside. She had deliberately driven away from them, so that the soldier should only watch the road. She sat in the driver's seat, waiting for them. Rosen restarted the car, guided them to the address and finally halted in front of the house. As they got out, Rosen asked the officer and the soldier to help push the VW bus to its usual spot, so it wouldn't block the narrow street. Sitting behind the wheel, she skillfully reversed the car while Rita directed her with hand movements. With all their strength, the officer and the soldier pushed the heavy van into a small, narrow dead-end alley next to the house. This alley, carved between two houses in limestone, accommodated two side-by-side electric poles. The only door opening into the alley was from Rosen's house and had been installed without permission. It was strategically placed to connect the house with the sliding door of the VW bus, offering easy access to the car, which served as a guest flat. Rosen locked herself in through the side door, walked through the house and opened the front door for them from inside. Before following Rita and Rosen inside, the officer exchanged a glance with the soldier, placed his hand in his pocket, and released the safety catch of his handgun. They couldn't rule out the possibility of walking into a dangerous trap. After all, they were in a notorious neighborhood where the security forces weren't warmly received. Whenever the police patrolled this area, they always requested military backup. If they disappeared, without any trace, in that dark night and the security forces interrogated the residents the next day, they would undoubtedly meet silence and locked doors throughout the neighborhood. As they made their way through the garden, the door to the hall suddenly swung open. Both the officer and the soldier froze momentarily on the spot. However, their anxiety eased when Nuria, wearing her nightdress, emerged from the doorway and called out, "Mom. Was Dad in the Volkswagen?" Instead of directly answering her question, Rosen replied, "Sure, dear." She glanced at Rita and added, "She often sleepwalks around the house at night. I'd rather get her back to bed before she wakes up." The officer became convinced that Rosen lived there, and they were telling the truth. After a quick look at Rita's passport, he apologized for the inconvenience, turned around, and, along with the soldier, left the place. Rosen and Rita quickly returned the Renault 4 to its original spot. They parked it in the same place as before, hoping the Danish couple wouldn't notice it had been gone. If they found out in the morning, they probably wouldn't call the police and complain that someone had eaten their mint candies. On their way back, they huddled closely under the umbrella. As they approached the house, Rosen asked Rita, "Do you mind sleeping in the VW bus? When we have visitors, they usually settle there. But you'll have to share it with Espanto."